Alright, hello world. My name is Sherman Marshall. I'm a software engineer and student of computer science trying to advance myself in my career. This is a presentation on JavaScript async await streams and the API that's provided in ECMAScript 6. So yeah, without further ado, let's turn to the code. Okay, so this is a little script that I've written to test the new functionality. It's pretty straightforward. I use some get parameters to distinguish between the two types of tests. So a little bit of parameter parsing, and then we have our first test is the traditional AJAX API that's provided by jQuery. So we're just getting some data from the server and logging it basically to determine how long it takes. So we'll give that a shot first here. So a normal AJAX request starts and it makes the request, sends it to the server, and waits for the data. So we can see here it's spooling up some data. And okay, so it took about 12 seconds to run a normal AJAX request, and we see the rendering of all this data that follows that. So about 12 seconds for the old API. And for the new API, it's a bit different. There's this async anonymous object that's created here, and inside of it ECMAScript 6 provides this async await behavior. So we make the await request for this asynchronous behavior. We get a reader, and then we read data from it iteratively until it's done. Fortunately, there's a little bit of character conversion that has to happen. It's kind of annoying, but as of yet, I've only played with this a little bit. It may be possible to get around that with other content types, but for the time being, everything was byte encoded, so you have to deal with that and convert it to a string. It's not terribly important, but it was a hurdle for these initial tests. Anyway, so 12 seconds for the first one, and for this one, we have data a lot faster, which is nice. So we're logging all this data. Okay, so 5:05 at 7 seconds, and then scrolling up to the top, we have 5:04 at 54 seconds. What is that? 6 plus 7 seconds, right? So 13 seconds, which is slightly higher than the other request, but on that request it didn't really log any data, so it might even be slightly skewed. But as you can see, there's data available a lot faster. Each of it is this sort of encoded byte array. But you make all these requests and you seem to get the data a bit faster. So it seems to be an improvement. And it's kind of nice to have new features. You may have some situation where you need only a bit of the data, not all of the data. God only knows. So that's that. And for the really die-hard who want to know what's going on, I made a little servlet here, sort of an appendage from a former test. I was trying to load string values so that they wouldn't have to be read from a file every time, sort of in memory, put it into the servlet memory, and it'd be a little bit more efficient and secure. But anyway, I repurposed it, so the class name is irrelevant. But yeah, we're creating a set of the alphabet basically. We do this 300 times. So yeah, there's a lot of content that's being sent, that's prepared, and then 300 times we get that set of the alphabet. We create the string of that alphabet, and then we send it back to the client. So there's a lot of writing and flushing to verify that the data has been sent back to the client to sort of provide that for the async await. I'm assuming if the request is not sent back completely, every so frequently, if you create a string and then you get all the bytes from that string and then send it back at the last minute, it's probably the await behavior probably is not going to be as valuable. But in this manner, we can see the availability of the data is it changes over time, and then we have so much as it is rendered, so it seems like it's working. Probably going to cause my browser to freak here trying to render so many different instances of the alphabet, but it was kind of a cool example. So yeah, that's my presentation. This is my first video ever regarding anything in Source, so I hope that you have learned something and you can bear with me. I imagine there will be more in the future, so hopefully that was informative and of interest to some people. And yeah, next time I hope to have more information and improve on the delivery. This is the beta. All right, that's it.